Hello everyone. I was just doing my usual morning run through with my succulent, and this is what I just found. Not sure what's going on over here. It was fine yesterday, and I was just looking at it, and I now see that some of these, look at how it's just falling apart. At the touch, if I just touch all the leaves, it's just sprinkling down. I'm gonna try to pull this one out. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know when this happened. I guess I didn't look at them close enough. Yeah, this one is just, yeah, I don't know what happened, but this one is a goner. It looks like the stem rotted and dried off. Not really sure why. Just gonna look into the other ones and see if there's more damage. It did rain all day yesterday, but these weren't sitting under the rain or anything. These were my propagation that I planted into this pot not too long ago. I have been trying to be careful with the water. Not sure what's going on here, but it looks like I lost one. I don't know what you even call this. One set. There was two little stems on this. It looks like, yeah, this one is the only one that's damaged, as far as I can tell. The others look okay. And I guess this is one of the reasons why they don't really recommend potting or repotting in the summer, because you just don't know. I mean, I've seen plenty of people that do it, but I feel like they're a lot more experienced than I am, and their environment also, of course, is very different from mine. So, um, I'm gonna have to fix this. I really feel like this one is just not sitting right. I'm sure when I planted it, they were upright, but it's sort of like this one is kind of leaning, and I don't know if that's like the roots are kind of like poking through. It's not really positioned inside the soil as as deep in. It should be deeper in. I feel like this one, so I'm gonna try to fix that. So I brought this over just now to the table to see if I can do something about the hole here. As you can see, yeah, as I suspected, this one was kind of leaning and not really planted inside the pot. As you can see, all the white roots are coming out the side here because it was sort of leaning on the side, so it's putting out roots. I'm gonna see if I can dig it in. And to poke it in there. As you can see, my top dressing is the black lava rocks. I think these are black lava rocks. And you can see like the other colored stones in there. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try to scoop out some of these rocks. As I mentioned, I'm still a beginner at this, so by all means, I'm no potting expert. So Uh, so I lost two of them. And I'm trying to sort of plant this back in there, but I don't wanna hurt the roots. Oh. And of course my camera is shaking. I don't know if this is gonna happen. Obviously, this is gonna hurt the roots. I'm trying to sort of wiggle it in there as best as I can, deeper into the pot. Um, Here we go. Just let my soil mix kind of settle in there and lock it in. Um, Obviously, this is not the best look right now. It's kind of empty on this side. I can try to plant some other ones in there, but I'm not going to try to do that. I don't want to hurt it more than it's already hurt. We'll repot it. We'll see how this goes, how this does, and I could always repot it in the fall. Yeah, let's just hope that for now they can sort of settle in again in this pot. I really don't know what happened. It literally happened overnight, and it just it was fine the other day. I I don't know, after the rain. This definitely needs water too, so I'm going to water it just a little bit now. So I brought my water, little squeegee bottle here, and I'm just gonna give it some water. Yesterday I actually watered some of my succulents, a lot of my succulents. I did like a pest prevention. I mixed in my insecticide with the water, and I gave a bunch of them water. But this one, I thought I did, but when I came out this morning and I looked at it, as it turned out, I didn't give it any water. So that's why I was sort of looking at it closely, because I couldn't remember if I gave it water or not. Turned out I didn't, and I could have sworn it didn't. Excuse me. I could have sworn it didn't look like this yesterday. So we'll see. This is my ghost plant. Um, I'm trying to remember what's the actual name. Can't remember the name. It took me quite a long time. Of course, I will edit that part out, the silent part. But yeah, it came to me named as Mother of Pearl. That's what it came to me as. Since I'm showing you this, I might as well show you my other mother of pearls. Be right back. So I moved the camera in hopes to capture all my ghost plants here. This is the best that I can do. And I'm sitting in my backyard, and the sun's beating down on my back, even though I'm sitting in under my pergola. There's so much landscaping going on today. It's just I'm trying to record, but I'm having to take breaks, so this video will be very choppy. I'll do my best to edit, but I'm not any kind of expert. So here, as you can see, my mother ghost plant over here, it's quite tall. I want to say it's at least 7 inches tall, 7 to 8. And the pot itself is about 7 to 8 inches tall, 5 to 6, I want to say 5 inches for the circumference. And when it first came to me, it was it was about the same height. I mean, it grew a little bit, but it came with so much leaves on the side. I mean, on the stalk. Um, as you can see, these are all leaves. There's scars on them because I couldn't really stand the look of the plant. It was really unruly and it was a mess. So I decided to take off the leaves and propagate them. So you can see, I don't know if you can see, when you take the leaves off, when they're still alive, it tends to leave a scar on the stem. So gotta be mindful of that. If that's gonna bother you, I mean, don't pull off the leaves. I'm sure if they can talk, they'll cry out in pain. But so what I did was, the reason why I have so many of these is because I did take off um, the leaves and I propagated them. And ghost plants, apparently they're very easy to propagate. Um, as you can see, I have so many pups here. And they're all about the same size. I've been sort of potting them differently just to see what will grow them the best. And as I showed you earlier today, this um, gave me some problems. I did have to pull out two babies out of the pot. Let's see how I did water it. So let's see how that does. And this one in the middle, this one I just potted in a regular potting mix to see how that does. And it's about the same. I can't really tell the difference. The face is a little bit bigger, but I know that this one definitely lost some leaves when it was adjusting in this pot. This one not so much because I had it in these little tiny nursery pots and I just kind of moved it over. So it didn't really have a lot of, it didn't lose a lot of leaves when I potted it into that. But as you can see, I do feel like they do better um, as far as growing and size wise. It does do better in a regular potting soil mix, but it also gets, I think in general, this ghost plant likes to get leggy. I know that they will eventually start trailing and cascading down the pots, and I've read that it can get as long as 3 feet long. So, and I've seen pictures of them. They do really well outdoors. They do better outdoors than indoors, which I feel like is true for most succulents. But they're very drought tolerant, and they're apparently, I don't know about frost tolerant, but they can survive under low temperatures as well. So, and these, like, as you can see, they do have that grayish, sort of bluish grayish farina. So and this rosette is about like 2 inches wide. So apparently if they get a lot of sun, the color becomes more pink, light Indian pink. Um, and but if they don't get as much sun, they stay this sort of bluish grayish color with like a powdery finish. And it probably gets that name ghost plant because of the color, and it looks so ghostly, I guess, because they're so pale in color. So now these are pups. Well, yeah, pups as well. So they look pretty wrinkly right now because they don't have roots yet. I think it started rooting. I got these from the mother plant, so I'll turn the mother plant around. So what happened was there was another thick stalk. I don't even know if stalk is the right word. Right here, back here. So I clipped it because originally I already had a mark, a clip mark. I guess the owner had already clipped it, and it had 3 heads on it.
So those are the three heads that I got from here. And the reason why I clipped it was kind of like running into um, this stem, and it just was really not looking great. And I just clipped it. And I know I try not to do that in the summer because you just don't know what's going to happen with these. I didn't want, you know, in case it doesn't scab well or whatnot. But look at what happened. It put out two babies. I mean, this ghost plant is just very resilient. They put out offsets like crazy, and they're very easy to propagate. They just like you just toss the leaves on a tray somewhere, or whatnot, and it just like literally propagated, like popped out babies from those leaves like in, I want to say, like less than 2 weeks, provided it was spring. So that's probably why, but it did help the timeline. But yeah, they're definitely very easy to propagate. And this one I'm going to try to pull it closer. um, So it got a little leggy ever since I potted it in here. I think I don't know if you can, it's very hard to capture, but there's pink roots coming out in the stem. So I'm guessing that it did root in here, because when I clipped it, obviously it didn't have roots. And it's pretty, yeah, it's pretty solid. Like I'm shaking it, and it's pretty like positioned in there. So I'm pretty sure it's rooted. It's looking very wrinkly, so it probably needs water. I don't know that it has enough roots to really pull in the water as much as I would like it to, but it's definitely rooted in there. It's definitely solid. So that's good. And as far as this mother plant goes, I would really want this to start cascading down, but I'm not sure when. And I also feel like this pot is way too big for this plant right now, so I'm kind of thinking about repotting it. But I mean, I already cut one of the stems, and like I'm feeling really bad about it right now. I didn't even think that it was gonna give like off babies. Apparently, their dormancy period is winter, and growth uh, in the summer does slow down for them. But obviously, they still do put out good growth. Um, so I'm just like having mixed feelings about this plant. I just do think that I should pot it into a smaller pot. And as you can see, it did get leggy. Um, it's grown, a little bit, and there's sort of a lot of spacing in between the nodes right now. It's probably needs more sun. I do have it in the, because it's so tall, I have to put it in the back of the shelf, and yeah, it just probably needs more sun. I know that the sun requirement for these are a little bit higher, and they will do better color wise. If you prefer I guess the soft pink color, you'd have to put it in under more sun. Um, okay, so I think as far as watering goes, they don't require a lot of water, and they're fairly easy to tell as far as how much, like when to water, because the leaves will get very wrinkly. So I actually watered this yesterday, and it's responded already. You can tell, like it's like happy. At least to me, the face looks very happy right now. It's gotten very plump overnight. I did water, um, so fairly easy to tell. I know that I didn't water this, and it's actually currently sitting on the bottom shelf of my plant shelf, because I didn't want to stress it too much when it was putting out new roots. So it's sitting in like a half shaded area. So I will give that some water too, possibly tonight. There's no rain in the forecast for the next 2-3 days, so I'll probably give that some water. Um, so I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye now.